All right, guys, welcome back to another video of Shaman J. If you have a folding phone, you'll probably really enjoy this aspect ratio. But if you don't have a folding phone, it's going to look kind of weird to you. So I suggest you get a folding phone. Now, with that said, I'm recording this with the brand new Motorola Razr Fold 2026, and I'm recording it in a full screen aspect ratio. More importantly, the reason that this is a huge deal is because I can actually record this in 8K 30, but I'm doing it at 4K 60, and you have Dolby Vision. All the things that this phone can't do. Now, while Samsung set the standards for this type of recording, some of you guys have always asked, like, well, how did you record in that aspect ratio? Well, this is how, it's just a matter of going into the settings. A lot of people don't know it. I've been doing it for years, I will continue to do it when I have a folding phone. So it's the 10:9 ratio for this phone. If you do 1:1, it kind of gives you those bars. And if you do regular, this is what it looks like. Well, again, Motorola has stepped it up, and they now have the ability to do Dolby Vision at 8K 30. So why I'm talking about the Motorola Razr Fold 26 in this video about the Z Fold 7 is because it's time for Samsung to do it as well. Samsung has been offering this ratio for quite some time, but when I was at the Samsung event, most of the engineers or PR people or CEO I talked to, they didn't even acknowledge this. They didn't even know. And I put in my request, and he said, "Hey, we can step that up. We can get it done." And I showed him on the phone, this is where it is. This is how you do it. This is a good thing for people who have folding phones, so they don't have black bars. That is important. Now, while Motorola has clearly bested Samsung in this area, Samsung set the standard for this. They've been doing it for quite some time on their foldable phones. Even my Fold 6 that I still have can do it. So Samsung, it's time to get it on. This is my favorite aspect ratio to shoot video when doing folding phones, because folding phones, people, you get to see a full display with no bars. And if you're not onto this yet, I don't know of many other places on YouTube that has talked about this over the years, but I have been promoting this for years. I've gone to all the events and I've told them, hey, you really should give it a higher resolution than 1080p 30. That is where it's capped at. Why it's like that, I don't know, because the phone is totally capable of getting that type of power out of it and shooting at that aspect ratio with no problem. So with that said, though, Samsung's quality when doing so may not be as good as the phone I'm recording with, the Razr Fold 2026, and it may not be able to do all those higher resolutions yet, but I got a feeling that Samsung, when I talked to them at this event, I was at this Fold 7 event, you guys remember, go ahead and check it out. I talked to the people. I said, everybody has their own thing that they like about doing phones, and this is one that I really could appreciate if you would just give it at least 4K. And they looked at me in the face and said, we'll get it. We'll get it spoken of, and we'll get it talked up, and we'll see what we can do. And that's it. So the next version of the Fold better have at least 4K for that aspect ratio. And some of you guys are gonna say, oh, that's not important, but check the comment section for people who have folds watching these types of videos, because folding phones have taken off, folks. And Samsung is one of the pioneers for that, for taking it off in the US, if not the pioneer. Yeah, for folding phones in the US. Some have tried, some have failed, some just haven't done good at it. And Samsung just kind of stayed in this area by itself and decided to take it to another notch by bringing out the Fold 7 at this thin frame. This is an immaculate piece of hardware. It really is. Now, when I first saw the Fold 7, I was blown away at how I just couldn't believe how thin it was next to a regular slab phone. It's impeccable. And let me go ahead and show you once again. Let me get my Ultra. This is the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. Look at how thin the Fold 7 is next to it. Folded. This is Samsung's own product. This is incredible, folks. This is great quality hardware. Simply put, this phone has made its mark. And would I use this over the Ultra? Absolutely, because you get to fold open a regular phone into a full-fledged tablet, and that is where you start to see that real thinness. I mean, look at this. This is incredible. Like I said, Samsung is one of the pioneers of this folding game, and they've made their mark. I really could appreciate it. I love what they're doing. But reality is other foldables have come along and they're coming for Samsung's head. And I've spoken of that with this Moto Razr Fold 2026. Now, all that said, Samsung has knocked it out the park with this phone, and I can't believe it's going to be almost a year. This is incredible. Very good. It's extraordinary that this came out last year, right after the summer, in like May, I think it was announced, and it officially came out in July or something like that. This is incredible. I really hope Samsung really does does right by the consumers and brings out something like this even better with higher resolution cameras to compete with Motorola. Because these cameras are not bad, they're just not touching what Motorola's doing right now on their foldable. These are not also flagship phone cameras. These are flagship cameras on this Ultra. And so Samsung will need to put these cameras on their next foldable phone in order to compete with the Ultra. And I don't even know at that point what they're going to do next. Looking at the hardware on here, getting past the thinness and everything about the phone, it's extraordinary. This phone feels so good in the hand. And to me, that's one of the areas where it competes kind of in a class of its own. It's so thin. It comes in at 4.2 millimeters open. And I mean, it's just incredibly thin, still closed. You have to use it in hand to see what I'm talking about. You've got a fingerprint reader in the power button, which is placed perfectly. That's an area where it's better than Motorola. Motorola's foldable buttons are way up at the top, super annoying. Super annoying. I got to shuffle up to get things done. With this one, my hand goes right on the button and I'm in the phone. Volume rocker is placed perfectly. You got your SIM tray on top, a speaker up top, 2 microphones, 2 more microphones on the bottom, a speaker on the bottom, and your Type-C. Now, the hinge on this thing is crazy thin. Like this is, I mean, it's still, to this day, I still think this is one of the most well-built foldable phones that a person can get. Even though the cameras don't match the Motorola Razr Fold, we're talking about a year later. So I think Samsung's going to bring it. I think they're going to come with something really good. But this hinge game has improved over the years. And let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me get my Fold 6 and show you. The Fold 6 has a much bigger hinge. This is my Fold 6, 1 terabyte. I probably will never get rid of this phone. I don't think that I will. I like it too much. But look at the difference in the hinges and just how much smaller the Fold 7 is and the major upgrades and improvements that they've done. We won't be able to deny this. The phone is thinner, slimmer, a little bit wider. You get a bigger display. It's a major upgrade from this. It's a little bit bigger too because you get that bigger display internally and externally. So Samsung has made strides. They've made improvements. I think they need to work on, like all foldables, I think you need to have more colors available to consumers. I just think that's a fair thing. So this camera bump, it doesn't bother me at all, but I really think that they're going to have to put some flagship cameras in their next foldable. They're going to have to. There is no getting around it. So you got killer hardware, immaculate software like this. Ooh, gosh, she scared the crap out of me. Ugh. Boy, my bad, y'all. You got immaculate software. Samsung's software has proven that over time, like Samsung used to get hit so hard about their software, it was just a joke. TouchWiz. It was comical at best. And it was an embarrassment, really, is what it was, because it was just falling apart. But what they did was, like Samsung does in true fashion, they stay true to it and they keep building on it. They keep building on it. And now One UI is one of the best OSs out. It is one of the best operating systems or overlays for Android, I'll say, out. It has so much going for it that, they overloaded so much, you can't go wrong. Like there's always going to be something that you can use in the Samsung software. Straight up. There's no way you won't find something that you're missing probably from Samsung software. Probably. I'm sure there's something missing, but probably you'll be able to find pretty much anything you want in the Samsung software suite. And that's just how it goes. So along with good software, extraordinary hardware, beautiful cameras, and I'm going to go to that next. The phone, this device, I hate to call it a phone, but this device makes sense. Let me show you some things I've done over the time of having this, and I've got in here some of the quality from this phone. I found some older footage from my car from last year when it was pretty much still stock form. I think it's beautiful, isn't it? But the cameras is what we're looking at, folks. The cameras, this is so beautiful. This is just a beautiful set of cameras in this car. I always capture my car because the color, the red mist metallic, is such an eclectic color in person. It's like a candy apple red, but the metallic flakes are beautiful. And this phone did an extraordinary job of capturing that. That's what it is. I love, love, love these cameras in bright settings and somewhat lower light settings, in the portrait videos that I do, in the portrait photos. I mean, just look at this photo. That's extraordinary. That's just a beautiful thing. Samsung has done right by the consumers with the cameras, but I need them to do more. Look at this shot. I did it all on this phone. Like I shot so much stuff on this phone, like so many photos and things on this phone that it just became the norm. Like I loved carrying this every day, and I just loved using it every day. And times go on, and new phones come out, and you have to go to the next thing if you're a tech enthusiast. You have to. It's just this phone has just great cameras. And I know I said earlier that they're going to have to step their game up and put some flagship cameras on there. They are going to have to, because we're talking about footage over the last year almost, and taking Motorola out against this phone. I don't think that it's that fair, because it's a new year and Samsung has an opportunity in the coming months to bring something out to slap Motorola in the face. Can they do it? Everyone's always complained about Samsung not putting flagship cameras on their phones, and unfortunately, they kind of don't. They don't tend to put flagship cameras on their foldable phones. At least not in the U.S. But they're going to have to do something. So let's do this here. The last area I want to talk about is battery, and then I'll close out this video. Battery life, when I use this regularly, got me through about roughly 30 hours or so, 30 hours, and then I had to put it on the charger. Well, now I've found that when I use this regularly, the battery life isn't bad. It's just not 30 hours anymore. I mean, because I use this phone a lot. Well, I swap my SIM card through phones regularly, folks. And when I say, I'll use it, like when I'm not reviewing something, I go back to what I trust, and I go back to what's tried and true. So I'm always looking forward to going back to one of my foldable phones that's not one of the new ones. And this is an easy one on the pocket. This phone is super. I'm team no case, so you already know this phone. I do have a glass screen protector on the front, but other than that, the phone is held up great. It's actually been dropped multiple times. But battery life wise, I'm not getting 30 hours like I used to. Maybe 26, 27 possibly, if I had to really clock it in. Either way, I can make it through a day. That's it. You should still be able to make it through a full day. And it depends on your usage, folks. That's not just, you might be getting 40 hours of screen on time out of it, or 40 hours of standby time, and 6 hours, 7 hours screen on time. I don't know. But reality is, the phone can last through a full day. And to me, I would recommend this over something like an Ultra, because while the Ultra has the pen, this is really good for creators, because you have the real estate to really edit your content and really go in hard on it. The Fold 7 is a winner still in my book. It's set the standard, and it's made strides that some companies took years to catch up to. It really has. So you've got these beautiful displays. I've already shown you video and photo. So you cap this off with the price. The price is where most foldables fail. or they're really, really expensive. And Samsung is no exception. I'm not getting ready to say that their pricing is right. However, where Samsung wins against other companies is I could take this old 6 right here and trade it in and get 11, 12 bucks for it. That's just how it goes. Samsung has kind of been the king of trade-ins when it comes to buying a new phone. And they probably will always remain that way. Other companies don't want their products back, or they're not giving those. They may want them back, but so they can recycle for parts and sell off to third parties or whatever. But Samsung has always been known for the highest trade-in values. So you've got a great design. You got a design that's going to go into this year when we see this year's folding phone. I know we're going to see it with this year's folding phone. This timeless thing, and if they go any thinner than this, I'm just going to be like, really, Samsung? Like, for real? Like, I can stand this phone up like this. This is incredible. You get to see that the camera bump looks like it's the size of the whole entire phone, the way it's layered and stacked right there. But you've got a great design. Software is on point, dialed in on One UI 8.5. Screen is beautiful. Cameras are great. Performance is solid. Software is, like I said, this is on point. Battery life is great. Price is good because of the trade-in values. Other than that, it is definitely a fail for most people. But in the end, for me, Samsung just needs to tweak one area. Well, 2. They need to get rid of these boxy corners and then go ahead and favor like they're doing for the Ultra. They do that, I'm definitely all in. And then they have to go in here and they have to fix this. They're going to have to fix this right here. We're going to need more than full HD 30 frames per second in this full aspect ratio. Let's make this the norm. I'm not saying I pioneered doing videos like this, but I don't know of anybody else on YouTube that actually does it. Do you? Or have been doing it long as I have. I don't get any credit for anything, and if they have, respect to them, but I just know that I've been pushing this aspect ratio for my Open Up series for years. And now, are you gonna let Motorola come in and slap you again, Motorola, by you not bringing this to your next foldable at a higher resolution? Come on, son. Don't do it. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.